Alright, welcome back. Today was not planned to do a video. As a matter of fact, usually if I have what I refer to as an okay day, what most normal people refer to as probably a bad day, um, I try to get at least one thing done around the house, or I do a video if I have spare time. This is why I've never promised to release one video, 2 videos a week in any kind of mailbag Monday or anything like that fashion. But today was not a video planned day, but a crucial event has come up that has changed my mind, and I decided we need to do a video. We have a quick unboxing, but this is not what the video is about. I'll explain this. It'll make sense. Bear with me. iFixit was nice enough to send me the iFixit Protect Toolkit. They have a new modified screwdriver in there with new knurling, aluminum, bigger handle, ball bearings. Great. Definitely want to check that out. Why did they do this? Because, well, I did a review on this screwdriver, and I already use some iFixit stuff here. See? And as a matter of fact, while we're at it, Frankie.com, or some of you know him as 99-cent Hobbies, was kind enough to send me version 2 of this screwdriver so we can do an unbiased review. There are some slight differences between this one and the one I previously did a review on and owned. So we will get to that, but not today. But I need to do the unboxing. And let me explain. In this box are some crucial pieces. They don't seem like a big deal, but they are. They're called decals. iFixit's decals are going up here. And the reason they're going up here and over here, and I wish I had a place to hang this poster in plain sight for everybody to see and enjoy, but it's really big, and it'll pretty much take up the shot of my camera. So let me go ahead and just freeze frame that there. You guys can read over some of the comments in here. They are definitely pertinent to what I'm about to discuss. Hope you're able to pause that video in that amount of time there. Nice poster. Will definitely be going up on the wall. I just wish I had a spot for it in plain view on the wall. But unfortunately I don't. Too much equipment, and this spot is even taken for. It just hasn't arrived yet. So, now that we got the unboxing out of the way, we got iFixit's decals. Why was it so important to unbox iFixit's box today? Even though I'm not going to review the item today. Because the topic I'm about to talk about, the topic that I'm about to discuss, has a lot to do with iFixit. Has a lot to do with you as a hobbyist. Has a lot to do with anybody that has a passion for repairing their own expensive piece of equipment that they bought, that they do not want to go out and spend another $800 to replace it when they know that they are probably smart enough, or can, with the help of other people and videos and YouTubes and tutorials on the internet and the information superhighway today, figure out how to fix it themselves. But the manufacturer will tell you when you go to fix something that they don't repair that one anymore. It's outdated. Perfectly. Still good functioning, yet outdated. The manufacturer will tell you when you say, I've gone through this and I figured out the problem, I just need this part. We don't sell parts. But we'll charge you 8 times more than what you could do for yourself to fix your own item, because we don't sell parts. And I woke up today with a text message from a neighbor of mine. Thank you, Keith. And this was the article today on Washington Post. Apple wants to kill a bill that could make it easier for you to fix your iPhone. Now, real quick, I want to explain something. This is not just about Apple. This is not just about fixing your iPhone. This is not just about fixing your iPad. Ironically, I showed you that article on my iPad. This is much, much larger. Huge. And right now, it only affects the state of New York. I want to see every state in this country pass a law similar to what New York has proposed recently. And I want to see Apple and any other major corporation that tries to turn it down get refused. And I want to see something for once in this generation actually be voted for you, for the public, for your right Not the company's right, not the manufacturer's right, not the firm's right because they have more money, not the corporation's right. I want to see something voted for us, for you. And this is where this becomes big, okay? There are a lot of things that I know back before I fell ill that I had the ability to repair. One of these is actually on the desk. One of these is my repair. And these days it's a little harder for me, I admit. But I know there's still other people out there like me. And will continue to be people like me. And if not, there's people like me that will work in third-party repair shops if they had the option, if they had the choice, if they could get the parts and fix things for you at a fraction of the cost. Instead of taking this and throwing it in the dumpster and ending up in the landfill, you could fix it at a fraction. Okay, this is a bad one. This one was hit by a car. This is probably not repairable. Instead of taking this one I can still fix, I think, maybe, and throwing it in the dumpster and filling up our landfills. And I'm not one to preach eco, green, and everything else. I'll leave you to your personal opinion. That's not what this channel is about. But an option of having to go out and buy a new one when you know this works perfect except for this glass part that broke on top here. You know it had good battery life except for this glass part that broke on top here. Yet you cannot find that glass part, and Apple won't fix it anymore because maybe it's an outdated product, or the other manufacturer won't fix it anymore, any manufacturer, because you cannot get the part. Or if you do get the part, like this part here, this is what this is. This is a replacement digitizer piece of glass for an iPad 2. And I don't think it's going to go on this one because, well, that one's pretty bad. I'm not quite sure of the functionality of that one. This one, though, this has a crack in it. You may not see it. It's there. It runs the long haul. It starts over here, runs up and down and around, and it's just going to get worse, without a doubt. So you can see that crack. This one is definitely repairable if I had the part. Now, the sad part is yes, here's the part. I found the part. It's not the original manufacturer's OEM part, or even, it doesn't even meet OEM specification most likely. I'll be lucky if that part works for another 6 months and doesn't die on me. I'll be lucky if it works, really lucky if it works for a year and doesn't die on me. Because I chose to go with a cheaper part, not because I was cheap for repairing this iPad, but because they don't have an option. I cannot go to the manufacturer and buy the parts I need. Did you know there's laws on the book that require car manufacturers to make the parts, critical parts like your alternator, distributor cap, distributor, rotor, coils, fuel injectors, brake lines, brake pads, whatever. They are required to make those parts available to you even 10 years after they stopped manufacturing that vehicle. And that's because another lawmaker out there said, hey, people are spending their hard-earned money and buying a car, and then turning around 2 years later and something breaks and they can't get the part to fix it, or they're required to go to the dealership and pay 300% markup because a dealership fixed it. They can't go to their friend's mechanic shop. They can't go they can't do it themselves. So somebody way back when changed this, and they made a law. This sat in front of Congress, and this got voted on, and this got passed up. And I'm not going to tell you I know the proper chain to try to explain politics here and how a law is passed. I'm sure somebody else has done a video on that, especially in YouTube. But the point is, somebody saw that injustice, that we couldn't fix our own vehicle that we were possibly, most likely even still paying on at that time, making payments and finances. We were being forced to trade in the car because we couldn't fix it or couldn't afford to have it repaired by the dealer or whatever the case was. And somebody saw that and said, well, wait, this is not right. We're going to make a law here that says you're required, if you make this car, to carry this part, or make this part available, or give away the schematics and the specifications of this part to other companies to make this part as an OEM spec part for at least 10 years. So people that spend their hard-earned money on buying that car can fix it, or choose the shop of their wanting to fix it, or if they live nowhere near a dealership, any mechanic can fix it and get that part. So this way your car is still functional, usable, drivable, does not end up in a junkyard. Just because one part broke that you couldn't fix, or you couldn't find the part to. This law was fixed a long time ago. What needs to be done is that same law, but with electronics. That's what needs to be done. Okay, this iPad. What is this, an iPad Air 2? Did I crack my own screen? Oh well. Why do I feel the need all of a sudden to buy the extended warranty on this? Because they make it in such a fashion that this is iPad Air too, probably really hard to open up and fix without the proper tools. At least when I purchased it, I did not have the proper tools. That may not be the case today. I've been working on building my lab up, hoping to still be able to learn something. I don't do videos on electronics. I review some items, things that I purchased, because I do a lot of research in what item to buy for my lab, and I share it with you guys. If I ever get to the point where I think I'm good enough at electronics, I'll actually show you some videos of things to repair and stuff once I know that I have accurate information and I was able to learn it. But my learning curve is it depends. It depends on the day, and I'm not talking Monday through Friday. It depends on the day, how I am that day when I wake up. So I'm not going to do those videos, but I still believe in this passionately, because I remember doing these things in the past before things were made thin, pressed, and almost impossible to open up with no screws anywhere to be seen because it's all glued. Before that day came, everything was able to be opened up with a screwdriver, and everything was able to be repaired. And I remembered years ago that I could not find the part to fix it, and I was forced to recycle that, if I was lucky, to find an electronic cycling center in my area. Most of the country doesn't even have normal aluminum recycling. To find an electronic recycling plant, good luck. If I was lucky enough to have an electronic recycling plant in my area, I recycled it. If the local electronic manufacturer stores now accept it for recycling, which some do, then take it there and recycle it. But I was forced to go buy a new one, and maybe even a cheaper one that wasn't equivalent to the quality that I owned previously, because I couldn't afford the new upgraded model or an identical one if it was still available for purchase. And I was forced to do this because I couldn't find a part. Really, one part. That's it. And here's a good example of being forced to put another part on here, which if this part was made in a country that Apple had say in, then I would never have been able to find the screen replacement for this phone either. They would have fought it, just like they're fighting the law in New York today, and not finding that fair at all. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. I'll try to block my white balance. You see a difference in color on the screens? Guess which one is the aftermarket? That's right, the one on the right here. Yellowish, brownish tint, like somebody burnt it slightly, compared to a crisp, white, balanced coloring and blues that pop. But at the time, I could only find somebody else who made this part to fix this phone. I could not find the OEM phone. I could not buy a screen from Apple. They didn't let me. And here they are. Here's a state. There's a great state of New York that is trying to pass a law to correct this indifference and this injustice, to allow people to fix their own items, to allow other repair shops like Louis Rossmann and the iPad Fix-It girl, Jessa Jones. Jessa Jones has an iPad. I'll put both links to both these channels down in the description. Jessa Jones has an iPad repair shop now today because she couldn't fix her own iPhone. And she's mentioned in this article along with Lewis. Link again down in the description for this article. And if you watch Lewis's channel, you'll hear a term come up that I'm ashamed has even made it into the electronics profession. It's a term called donor boards. You have to have somebody donate their broken item because one, they can't fix it. Two, they went out and had to buy a new one. Three, 90% of that board is still good. This one, hit by a car, ran over. Look at the frame bent on that. I'm surprised there's not a tire track on this thing. All four corners bent in. New glass digitizer, not even an option. LCD cracked. There's no glass on this anymore. LCD cracked, 2 spots. And somehow the battery didn't go up in flames. I'm shocked at that factor. But inside here is still 88% of parts that can be utilized. And I can pull parts off of this, the donor board, and use these parts to possibly fix this one. I should not have to be using used, ran over, destructed, beyond repair, maybe even parts from other boards to fix my item. The repair shop should not have to be using donor boards to fix your item for you at a fraction of the cost because you can't afford to have the manufacturer fix it. This should not be allowed. Plain and simple. And we are being held back from 1, doing our hobby, 2, doing our profession, 3, trying to start a profession for something that you're passionate about and love to do and maybe have a natural skill at it. And the people holding us back are the larger manufacturers, the bigger corporations that want to keep profit. Think about this now. I accidentally left my iPad on top of a car. I drove away. It fell off. It broke the screen. If I thought about it at the time, I would have gone back and got it. Hypothetical, by the way. 2 other cars come along. They hit it. Well, and now it's iffy if I can even fix it myself, even if I was able to get the part. But let's say it just got hit by a car. The LCD was still good. The battery was still good. Everything was still good, actually. That battery may be swelling slightly. I didn't notice that. I might take this part sooner and disconnect that battery and put that in the basement where it's all concrete and won't go up in flames. Let's say it just has a broken screen. This one, just a broken screen, right? Or this one. And I want to fix this myself. And luckily for me, the part to do so from the manufacturer is available. So this will be just as good as new, all based on how good of a quality I do repairing it. Or the repair shop I chose to fix it at a fraction of the cost because I don't think I have the talent to, but the manufacturer costs too much. They have the original part. I can ask them. I can ask them ahead of time. Do you have the actual original manufacturer part to make this like it was when I first bought it? And they will say, yes, we can use the original part. It might cost a little bit more. Fine. Okay, I'm okay with that. Or, no, we just deal in fake generic parts that may not last you 3 months, that only carry a 30-day warranty. I'm going to go with the original part. The people that made this probably knew what they were doing. And the original part will fix it and give me another 2 years out of it as long as I don't put it on my car and drop it again. Wouldn't that be a beautiful thing? I can go out and get my computer, my devices fixed by somebody else, or even buy the part from DigiKey, from Mauser, and do it myself at a fraction of the cost, and at the same time do something that I love to do. And I love to get inside things and tinker with things and see how they work. And I get to do this with the satisfaction that afterwards I fixed my own piece of electronics. But do I have that option today? No, I don't. I don't. I end up with something that I could repair, but it's an old model. It's not for sale anymore, and I can't find the part. I can't find a fake part. I can't find an OEM manufacturer part. It's not available by the manufacturer. They tell me, please buy our updated iPad Air 2 model because we don't make that and we don't offer repairs on that anymore. And they think I'm rich and I can just afford to buy the new $800 model. There's a reason I'm looking to spend $20, $30 on a part, maybe $50, $60 for somebody else to repair it, because I don't have $800 to buy a new one. If you think I had $800 to buy a new one, do you think I would still have this old one that still works perfectly? No. Why don't I have the option to do this repair myself or ask somebody else to do the repair for me? Because the parts are not available. It's very simple logic. You bought a car, and the parts are there because the law says they have to be there up to 10 years after the stop manufacturing date of that vehicle. I'm not asking for 10 years on electronics. That may be a little excessive with the way technology progresses these days. I'll start with 5. I'll start with the parts just being available. So the brand new Surface 4 that I just bought the other day, and it accidentally dropped and it broke, and here's another item with no screws, no way to get into it, completely sealed, pressed, glued, just no screws, can't do it. Here's another item just like that, and I dropped it, and I didn't take the manufacturer warranty, extended warranty out on it because I couldn't afford it. And by not taking the extended manufacturer warranty out on this and not being able to afford the warranty at that time, the standard warranty does not cover damage, breakage, accidental spillage, whatever. Now I have this, which I'm making payments on a 0% interest credit card offer for 16 months. I have this beautiful computer that has a broken screen because I can't buy the part and even attempt to fix it myself. Or I can't buy the part and have somebody else do it. Or somebody else who has a repair shop can't buy the part and fix it themselves. Computers. Let's think about this. I started in IT fixing computers. But were computers ever so sealed in such a way that you could not gain access to the computer? No, of course they weren't. Update your computer was the big thing. Technology was growing so fast, processors were getting faster. Gigahertz was the key word. It was actually just a throw around word like megapixels in cameras. But the point is, I was able to take that motherboard out the following year and put the new motherboard and processor in there. Maybe my memory worked with it, maybe it didn't. I could still use the same DVD burner, the same DVD-ROM, the same CD-ROM, CD burner, same mouse, same case, same power supply, everything else, video card, everything in there was reusable. Wi-Fi card, Bluetooth card, whatever. I didn't have to buy a whole new computer. I could find the part that broke, I could fix this part, and I did this professionally for companies. I fixed people's computers. It was my living for a few years. And today, can I do that? No, not really. Not with this anyway. Not this one. I can't even get inside of it. Where's the hole for the screwdriver? I don't mind advanced technology and manufacturers trying to make things thinner, smaller, lighter, that will last longer on battery. I mean, that's what everybody wants, right? They want this thing in their hand that will put up a projection 3 times the size of it on the wall, or just hologram it right there, and it will last 3 days on a single charge, have internet access from everywhere, never lose a signal. And that's what they want. So that's what people are trying to make. That's what the companies are trying to make. But sometimes to do smaller, thinner, lighter, there's this no screw thing going on here. So repairs, well, that's hard. Even if they had screws on this, Microsoft wouldn't offer me the parts to fix this probably. It's proprietary. They want you to pay them to fix it. They want to, and they see another avenue, another way to make money. New computers are not like old computers. They're not. And old computers, I'm looking at 4 laptops on my shelf right now. They all have screws, and I can get in there and I could probably fix them. As a matter of fact, somebody else just dropped the laptop off to me yesterday. A previous repair I did 4 years ago on this thing. And I suspect it's the same problem. That fan has stopped working. Why? Because I could not buy an IBM spec, OEM spec, original equipment part to replace the cooling fan that originally had a problem in this IBM laptop 4 years ago. So this fan failed again. So I'm going to have to go out to eBay or Amazon or somewhere and buy a fan that meets the same voltage, same RPM, same airflow specification, and install this for this girl and hope that it lasts her another 2 or 3 years. Why doesn't she just go out and buy a new laptop? Because she can't afford it. Why doesn't she go to a repair shop to have it fixed? Because she can't afford somebody else to even repair it. I'm doing this as a favor, as a friend to her. And I did the original repair 4 years ago as a favor, as a friend to her. And that's why it came back to me. But there are people that just cannot afford it. And if it can still run and it can still do what you need to do and you can still connect to the internet, then why are we being forced to move to a new unit, to purchase a new one, just because parts are not available to fix things? I don't know. It's a topic that bugs me. It has for a long time. I thought about doing a video on it, and here I am today. I also thought about doing a video on why are we being beta testers for things. Why did I buy a Microsoft Surface 4 that has firmware issues and doesn't know how to go to standby or properly instruct the processor to go into standby, and have gone through 5 firmware updates and still not fixed right, and yet I'm past the point of where I can return it and get my money back? But my pen keeps disconnecting on me, and I have to shake it to get the pen to work again. And the pen's a beautiful thing, especially when you have tremors. It functions differently than a mouse. So I like the pen, I really do. But when did the day come that we accept that things we buy today have bugs and have problems, and it's okay? It's okay that they're buggy. No, it's not. Would you buy an airplane that had bugs that you could potentially just have your engines turn off and crash to your death? Because we accept that things today have bugs. As long as they can fix it with a software push, a firmware update, it's okay? No, of course not. I wouldn't 10 years ago, and I don't like the fact that I have to today. But everybody rushes to market to get the latest and greatest out, and they all have bugs because they just want to be the first person to put it in a store. And we've accepted that. Today's generation has accepted that. That is not something we should compromise on. Also, that is not something we should accept. We should not buy a brand new item that is $1,500 that I'm paying on for the next year and a half, 2 years out of my pocket monthly. It's not even paid off yet. It's just like a car payment. Maybe a little cheaper than a car payment. If I break this myself in the next 2 years that I'm still paying on it, I won't be able to fix it myself because the part won't be available. And I find myself paying on something that I can't even use. And not only that, for the first year of owning it, I had to keep doing these updates and firmware stuff before it finally worked the way it was advertised when I decided to buy it. Because we accept the bugs, and firmware updates are possible. Therefore, it's okay. No, it's not. We should have the options to buy this $800 piece of software when it first came out. Or hardware when it first came out. This cell phone, $800 cell phone when it first came out. I paid for that full and clear. Whether it was over a 2-year contract and paying excessively on my monthly charges for using the cell phone towers from the carrier, or whether I paid $800 right out of the pocket and then paid in cash. I paid for it either way. It's mine. And I want to know why I can't pick this phone in today's world and choose to take this and put this on any carrier I want to. Do we not own the electronics we buy anymore? Are we really okay with not being able to fix our own things because the parts aren't available because they want you to buy the new one? Are we okay with having to buy a new cell phone just because I found out one cell phone carrier doesn't work as good in my new home where I moved, and now I have to buy a different one under a different carrier, and spend another $800 yet again because this phone won't let me take it to the carrier I want to go to. Are we okay with buying something and it being buggy and not working the way it's advertised, and just waiting for software updates? Are we okay with any of this? Where did we lose where did we lose our willingness to say no, this is not right? When did we give up and accept this? When did we allow this to happen to ourselves? Because the people sitting in positions of power in this country have the right to change this. They did with car parts, and they have the right to change this today. And they're there for us. They are being paid by us with our tax money. They are there to protect us, to fight for our rights, to make sure that our Constitution is not violated. And yet, they don't make laws to help us here. Did you ever wonder if the large amount of credit card debt in America today would go down significantly if it wasn't for the fact that I had to go out and buy a new phone because I couldn't find the part? And I didn't have the money to buy a new phone either, but I needed it because maybe I have kids and they need to get in touch with me at all times. So I put it on my credit card. Think about the impact of not just now, not just today, not just yesterday. Think about the impact of you just put that money on a credit card that you can barely afford now to make a monthly payment on, and you're stuck trying to get out of this interest loop of daily accrual interest on this credit card, and yet you were forced there because the part wasn't available for you to have another option. You did not have a cheaper option, an option to do it yourself, or an option to have somebody else do the repair with the manufacturer's OEM or OEM spec part to meet or exceed the same quality as how you purchased it. Like I said, seems like a small topic. Reaches a lot further when you think about it. Landfills, debt, economy, and everything else I mentioned. It's a lot more than what's the big deal of if this manufacturer doesn't offer me a part to fix this thing. I don't get the big deal. Look at it from that point of view. I don't care if you're the landfill green tree hugger person. I don't care if you're the person that pinches your pennies and maybe you can afford to buy one, but you choose not to because you realize this is still a perfectly good phone. I don't care what your personality is. In one way or another, this has affected you, your family, your friends, your loved ones, and our country as a whole. Because people in power and of position are sitting there in these state senate buildings and Congress and whatever other the positions of politics that we vote people into. Um, and they're supposed to be doing stuff and looking at issues like this and putting 1 + 1 = 2. This affects the credit. This affects credit card debt. This affects the economy. This affects what is the bottom line. They should be sitting there figuring this out, not me. And they should be, because they are in a position to do so, because we voted them there. They should be making a law to correct this and make it better for everyone and easier for everyone, and at least give us the option. If I really do want the latest and greatest phone, and I don't mind being charged 23% interest on my Visa for the next year and a half, even though I can't afford the $800 to buy a new phone, so I'll put it on my credit card, then yeah, go ahead and do that. But you made that choice. You were not forced in the position of, boy, I wish I could fix this phone myself. Boy, I wish I could find somebody to fix this phone for cheaper. And you couldn't because the parts weren't available. So now you were forced to put it on the one credit card that you may have that had a little bit of open balance that you were just feeling proud about because you just got done paying off that little bit. The only reason you could put that $800 phone on that credit card is because you finally got ahead of it. And now, because you can't get a part to fix your phone, you're forced to max your card out again? How long is it going to take you to get that 800 back off of that card now? How long is it going to take for these things to biodegrade in our earth? What are the future impacts of many, many, many electronics that are already out there in the ground, in the water supply, in the natural resources? Like I said, I don't care. I'm not judgmental. I don't care how you view it, how you want to spin it, how you want to justify it. It doesn't matter. These are the facts. This is the point. How did we become a society that accepts this? And what are the people in the positions of power going to do about it to help us? And if not, who will be voted into a position of power that will start looking at the small pictures that actually have a much larger bottom line, that are smart enough to link 1 + 1 = 2 together and see the bigger picture? Because if I know who that guy is, I will gladly vote for him instead. So many things wrong that a simple law, a law well thought out of, a law well written to make sure there is no gray loophole. Please make sure there's no gray loophole, because the big manufacturers will find that loophole and they'll turn it around. And then they'll figure out how to close your law and make it a useless law on the books. So if you're going to be that person in power to do this and help us, then do it in such a way that you make sure it is ironclad, and make sure that there's no big gray loophole. Enough personal topic. I'll be back hopefully soon, and we'll finish up that iFixit review on the screwdriver. I want to thank iFixit for sending me these cool decals and that awesome poster. Definitely going up. Says a lot. Speaks volume. Contact your local Congress. Contact your local Senate. I'm doing it later today or tomorrow when I feel better after this. I'm going to be emailing every senator in the seat of my state with a templated flat out email and a link to this video, and then ask them what are they going to do about it, and ask them why aren't they doing what New York is doing. Why does New York care about their citizens more than the state that I live in or the other 3 states that I have lived in? Are you not seeing the bigger picture? I'm going to be blunt about it because I'm getting too old to tiptoe around the bush. I just don't care anymore. And if they think I'm rude, that's fine. They'll remember my comments more because they took offense. And that's the way you got to get people to remember your comments sometimes, is to offend them. And that's sad too. But it is the truth. So, thanks for watching. Go ahead and leave a thumbs up if you like the video. Don't forget to check out the links below to the other YouTube channels that are also fighting for this particular issue, and the link to the Washington Post article and what they posted, and contact your local senators and encourage them to do something about this also. I hope I made sense. I hope I didn't waste your time. Appreciate everybody that subscribes. Leave comments, suggestions down below. I do look at the comments. I do get to them and reply to them eventually even. Ideas are always more than welcome too. And any content you guys want to see, suggestions are more than welcome. And keep on tinkering.